No poser, float over the opposing, float over the probe, float over the probe, flowing over the ocean flow. Composing, long flowing robe glowing, knowing only he knows he's all knowing. Lo and behold, he told of the omen bestowed upon the minded upon unknowing. Sun shining, darkness come blinding. Mount ignorant, good time to start climbing. It takes more than 4 walls to confine him. In the prison of his body will you find him. Mind like a diamond refined. He doesn't come a dime a dozen. His thoughts are more like a dozen dimes. 120 things to say at one time. I could rearrange a frame of mind with a single line. Now think of all the lines I could squeeze in a single rhyme. My movement will go from small to huge in no time, so fuck you. This is free now. You see? This is freestyle. Now you're there. Now you're there. All Rise was another one of these. All Rise was born again is here. All Rise. How's this fucking thing start? The born again sinner is here. All rise. Right. No thought. This ain't thought here. This is just, let's go. I'm going easy. Peace to the Shah Bar, rockin' Shah Pa Allah, Ba Khalas, Iskut Ya Hamar, stuck for Allah. Pardon the arrogance, I'm smarter than the average. What Spanish kid, get on the track and rap in Arabic. You can tell I'm not going too crazy with it. Little bit of thought. Not like the example I gave for Savage. Savage, now I'm there. And to pull that type of shit off freestyle, you in that zone, you in that mode. Rappers, MCs will know what I'm talking about. You know when you're there. You know you have you have now gained access. The portal has opened. You now have the ability. The engine is revving. You are able to do shit that when you're not there in that space, you can't just pull off. Okay, so. This was not, so anyhow, to get back to the topic, this song was another one of those kind of songs where it's just like, because sometimes what will happen is sometimes I get a beat and I really like the beat. And sometimes I'm too thoughtful for my own good. So sometimes when I take a step back and I just don't over conceptualize or overthink it, but sometimes that's when I get the best results, because I'm just allowing myself to be free and deal with what the vibe of the beat. Because when you hear the All Rise, the way that I work, it sounds like this olden Egyptian kind of sample. It's something that will remind you of like the movie The Mummy. And the way that my mind works is I would naturally go to create something conceptually revolving around that. And maybe it'll be a concept about, I don't know, just something like a little, like, I'll make like a movie out of it or something where it's, if I just let myself be free, it's gonna have a feel, it's gonna end up being so much more enjoyable. And the shit's still gonna come out, you know what I'm saying, that you wouldn't know. Like, you might think, oh, he put effort into writing that down. Well, forget the writing part, but he put a lot of thought into that, because I'm not writing either way. and even that other verse that I shared when I was talking about riddles that's incredibly patternized. This is not written. It's not, see, apathetic, ethic lacking, backward aesthetic, treacherous track record of acts connected to backstories with facts edited, category, tragic, gory, hazardous, havoc. I could patternize this shit at. It's not, again, the mind, it's the same process as if you were using a pen and a paper. My memory muscle has just gotten strong from training it. So none of it's written, but the point is, it's not about whether it's written or not. It's about the amount of effort that's put in. How much time did you take and how much thought did you put into it? I find it fascinating. And it's not a toot my own horn kind of thing, because for me, it's more just like, it's a fascination with the human mind, where I find it fascinating that it's just like there are these levels that we can go to, and it's just amazing to me that what we can do. It's sometimes that you're just like, I'm not even doing this right now. Like with the Savage, when I was like, no poser, flow over the opposing, float over the probe, flowing over the ocean flow. I'm being dead ass honest with you. I had no fucking idea what was gonna come flying out of my mouth. It just so I got lucky that this shit somehow made sense. If we're gonna call it lucky or whatever. But at some point, the mind is ahead of you and you're just in the vehicle. You're coming along for the ride. And if you look at the All Rise, there's a part in there where it's like, it's towards the end, it's something like, plastic face, fucking shit, man. I hope the nation goes gay to stop procreation. Too many young, dumb, apathetic, and numb. A lack of prophetic, only prosthetic. Stretchy face, plastic ass, cosmetic. Silly Sally, silly art. Silly Sally, Silicone Valley. Chatty patty with the fatty waddy, never had a daddy, bratty yakking caddy, rapping crappy, slap happy pappy macking in the caddy. I would not take my time and put thought into this silly shit. This is on the spot shit. So that's my I guess intro. That's my review or rollout of the All Rise song. That's going to be on the Born Again Sinner 2 album. I think that my best material, right? The material that has the most listenability, right? That's what I call it, like listenability or likability, is the stuff that where I actually take a step back and I allow myself to be free. There is a certain feel that's going to come with that it's just not going to come with the stuff that you put more thought into. And I think that's probably the curse of the technical artist. And I suppose you could find the way to make it as Eminem does a good job at it. Tone Deaf does a great job at it. I will make a video about Tone Deaf. Where it's, you give it as much as a natural feel as you can. But it ultimately is not really natural. It took a lot of thought to construct what is essentially this masterpiece. But sometimes we can get trapped within that mastery, because the writing is to a perfection. It's almost as if a computer could. It's the kind of perfection that a computer would pull off, because it's going to make sure that the math is perfect, the timing is perfect, the rhyme scheme is perfect. It's all of this perfection that it almost can lose the human aspect in a way, where it's kind of like listening to Tool. Tool is they're so like surgical with the way that they play, that if you listen to albums, if you listen to the Lateralis album, it's almost like this sounds like a machine. This sounds like machines that decided to make progressive metal. My attempt of categorizing Tool. You know, that's what it sounds like. It's very very mathematical. It's extremely sound, but it's so perfect that it almost loses the human element. So anyway, that's the point. That's the rollout for All Rise. See you on the next one.
Too many young, dumb, apathetic, and numb are like a prophetic, only prosthetic. Stretchy face, plastic ass cosmetic. Silly Sally, Silicon Valley. Chatty Patty with the fatty ratty. Never had a daddy, bratty, acting caddy, rapping crappy, slap happy, pappy, macking in the caddy.